Right. Hello all. Now we'll discuss the appellate jurisdiction of the High Court. So what is the meaning of appeal? So appeal means a complaint. A complaint can be lodged in the superior court against the judgments passed by the lower courts is called as a appeal. Okay. Right. So a high court is primarily a court of appeal. That means it entertains the complaints filed against the judgments or the orders passed by the lower courts in order to give complete justice. So it hears appeals against the judgments of subordinate courts functioning in its territorial jurisdiction. So as I said, we have an integrated and independent judiciary, and Supreme Court is at the apex level, and High Court is at the apex level with respect to the state, with respect to the states. So below High Court, there are subordinate courts at the district level. So a complaints can be lodged against the judgments passed by the subordinate courts in the High Court. So that's why High Court is called as a highest court of appeal in the state, whereas Supreme Court is called as a highest court of appeal in the country, meaning the complaints can be lodged against the judgments of the High Court in the Supreme Court. Am I clear? So this is the meaning of appellate jurisdiction. So meaning what kind of appeals can be made in the High Court. So that is the meaning of appellate jurisdiction. So here the appellate jurisdiction of a High Court is wider than its original jurisdiction. Okay. In the previous video we discussed the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. So under original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court only few matters are addressed, whereas under appellate jurisdiction the powers of the High Court is wider than original jurisdiction. So now we will see what matters can be challenged in the High Court under appellate jurisdiction. So the appellate jurisdiction can be divided into civil jurisdiction, civil appellate jurisdiction, and criminal appellate jurisdiction. So now we will discuss the civil appellate jurisdiction. That means what type of civil matters can be challenged or can be appealed under this appellate jurisdiction, civil appellate jurisdiction, right? So the first thing is first appeals from the orders and judgments of the district courts and additional district courts and subordinate courts lie directly to the High Court. On what basis? On the question of law and question of fact, provided the amount exceeds the stipulated limit. Okay. So let me explain this. What is the meaning of first appeals? As I said, appeal means a complaint against the decree or judgment passed by a lower court. So before that, I would like to explain the difference between a suit and an appeal. Okay, you should have knowledge about these two things before understanding the meaning of first appeal. What is the meaning of first appeal? Okay, here suit means a dispute or a complaint which is lodged in the court to be get resolved is called as a suit. Okay, suit is basically a complaint lodged in a court with respect to a dispute in order to get solution for it. Okay, that is called as a suit. Then what is the meaning of an appeal? Appeal means a complaint which is lodged in the superior court against the judgment of a lower court is called as a appeal, right? So if an affected person after getting a judgment from the lower court files a complaint against the judgment in the next superior court, it is called as a first appeal. It is called as a first appeal. And the second thing is, under first appeal, two things are examined. One is a question of law and number two, question of fact. So what is the meaning of question of law? Here question of law means the interpretation of law with respect to a particular dispute. Interpretation of law with respect to a particular dispute is called as a question of law. That means if you have any doubt with respect to the interpretation of law or the application of law for a particular dispute by the lower court, we can file an appeal against the judgment of a lower court on the grounds of question of law. Okay, if we have a question about the evidences submitted in the lower court, okay, we can file a appeal based on a question of fact in the higher court. Okay, if these two grounds are entertained, it is called as a first appeal. That means under first appeal, the question of law and the question of fact, these two are examined. Am I making sense? So that is called as a first appeal. So under first appeal, question of law and question of fact are entertained, and provided the amount, the damage amount should exceed the stipulated limit. That means civil cases are nothing but generally cases related to property and several other matters. Here the stipulated limit means the monetary value should be as per the specified terms and conditions of the court. Okay, it should exceed a certain limit, then only the court will entertain such type of civil case. Am I clear? And the second appeals, so under second appeals only the question of law is examined. Under second appeal, the evidences which are produced are not examined. So that is the meaning of that is the difference between first appeal and second appeal. Under first appeal, the question of law and question of fact are examined, whereas under second appeal, only the question of law is examined. So meaning of question of law is the application of law with respect to a particular dispute, how the law is applied. So these type of questions can be examined under second appeal. So dear students, did you understand the difference between first appeal and the second appeal? Right? Okay. So the Calcutta and Bombay and Madras High Courts have provision of intra-court appeals. What is the meaning of intra-court appeals? So intra-court appeals means when a single judge of the High Court has decided a case either under the original or appellate jurisdiction of the High Court, an appeal from such decision lies to the division bench of the same High Court. Am I making sense? That is the meaning of intra-court appeals. That means within the court, the appeals can be made. Sometimes the judgments are delivered by a single judge bench, okay, of a particular court. So the judgment can be challenged within the same court. So that is called as intra-court appeals, right? And the next point, so appeals from the decisions of the administrative and other tribunals. So there are administrative tribunals and several other tribunals as per the provisions of part 14A of Indian Constitution. Okay, lie to the division bench of the state high courts. That means state high courts entertain the complaints against the orders or decrees or judgments given by administrative tribunals. Okay, so in 1997, the Supreme Court ruled that the tribunals are subjected to writ jurisdiction of the high courts, meaning the high courts can issue writs with respect to the orders or decrees passed by the administrative tribunals. So that's why the writ jurisdiction of the High Court is wider than the writ jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Yes or no? So consequently, it is not possible for an aggrieved person to approach the Supreme Court directly against the decision of the tribunals without first going to the High Courts. That means the decrees or the judgments passed by the tribunals cannot be challenged directly in the Supreme Court. They have to follow the process of way of appeal. Okay, right. So under criminal matters, so what is the appellate jurisdiction under criminal matters? Right. So appeals from judgments of a sessions court and additional sessions court lie to the High Court if the sentence is imprisonment for more than 7 years. Okay, as we know that sessions courts under the district level are empowered to deal with the criminal matters, and civil courts deal with civil matters, right? So if the judgments passed by the sessions courts, if those judgments, if the such judgments are more than 7 years of punishment, okay, so it comes under the criminal jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, criminal jurisdiction of the High Court, criminal appellate jurisdiction of the High Court. Such type of judgments can be challenged in the High Court, meaning if the punishment is less than 7 years, it cannot be challenged under the criminal jurisdiction of the High Court. Only the punishments beyond 7 years. Okay, right. And it should also be noted that a death sentence, which is popularly known as capital punishment, awarded by a sessions court or an additional sessions court, should be confirmed by the High Court before it can be executed. Okay, so whether there is an appeal by the convicted person or not, that means whether the convicted person appeals to the High Court or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, the High Court, even there is no appeal, it involves in the matters of capital punishment. Am I making sense? That means the capital punishment should be confirmed by the High Court before its implementation, though the convicted person does not appeal to the High Court, right? And in some cases specified in various provisions of Criminal Procedure Code 1973, the appeals from the judgments of the Assistant Sessions Judge, Metropolitan Magistrate or other magistrates lie to the High Court. There are some provisions in the Criminal Procedure Code which specifies that judgments of Assistant Sessions Judge and Metropolitan Magistrates are lie to the High Court. They can be challenged in the High Court, right? So now we'll discuss the powers of the High Court with respect to subordinate courts. That means what are the powers of the High Court to control the subordinate courts. Okay, so in addition to the appellate jurisdiction over the subordinate courts, as we discussed now, a High Court has an administrative control and other powers over the subordinate courts. So what are they? High Court is consulted, very, very important. High Court is consulted by the governor in the matters of appointment, posting and promotion of district judges. You have to note this point. So the governor consult the High Court with respect to the appointments of district judges and postings and promotions of the district judges. Okay. And also in the appointments of persons to the judicial service of the state. So what are and who are the persons involved in the judicial service of the state? These people are apart from the district judges. So the people apart from the district judges who are appointed in the judicial services of the state, for such appointments the governor should consult the High Court. Okay. And also High Court deals with the matters of posting, promoting, grant of leave, transfers and discipline of the members of the judicial service of the state. Am I clear? And also it can withdraw a case pending in a subordinate court if it involves the substantial question of law. So what is the meaning of substantial question of law? Substantial question of law means where a constitutional interpretation is required, where it has a general importance, where the large public is affected. So such type of things are called a substantial question of law, which requires the interpretation of the constitution, right? So it can then either dispose of the case itself or determine the question of law and return the case to the subordinate court with its judgment. So did you understand this provision? That means it can directly withdraw a case from a subordinate court which is in the process of trial. So it is a discretionary power of the High Court, right? And the next thing is its law is binding on all subordinate courts functioning within its territorial jurisdiction, which is similar to the Supreme Court, right? Because the judgments of the Supreme Court are also binding on all the high courts. In the same way, the judgments of the High Court are binding on the subordinate courts. Okay? Right. So, dear students, in the next lecture, we will discuss court of record and judicial review, the powers of judicial review of the High Court.